Just a pilot in his cockpit seated. Black leather on his ass, keep a hustler heated.
Okay, something I wanted to show you guys real quick. I got a universal shift knob, and one of the suppliers I work with, they've been telling me like, oh, we have shift knobs too. And I'm like, well, do you have one specifically for this car? And they're like, no, but we can build one for you. One of the universal ones should work. I'm like, yeah, whatever. You know, I'm like, I don't want to order any because I have to buy like 100 of them. So I'm going to buy like hundreds of dollars worth of shift knob when they might suck. So kind of just blew them off. And then they said, well, we'll send you one for free. And you can evaluate it. And if you like it, then you can order more. So I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. That sounds good. So I got one of the universal shift knobs. It is weighted because that was one of the big things that I wanted, was it to be weighted. Because I know, you know, if you don't have a short shifter, having a weighted shifter definitely helps with the smoothness of the shift and the engagement. You can usually shift faster, almost as good as a short shifter. My dog's fighting in the other room. Including my big Mastiff, who's even bigger. I'll make a video on that soon. But she's like 40 plus pounds now. And she terrorizes my little Yorkie. But anyway, so let's take a look at it. I have the scale out, and I also have the stock shifter from my WRX, so we're gonna kind of compare the weight and compare the fitment. I've already had it on the car, so I know that it fits, because I didn't even want to waste my time if it didn't fit. So I had it on the car, and I drove around with it for a little bit, and the initial impressions that was pretty good. I like the length of it. It's definitely a lot longer, and it seems decent. But it's got some cheap aspects to it, so let me show you. Okay, so here it is right here. This is the weighted shift knob, and one thing you don't really quite realize unless you take it off is that the stock shifter actually weighs quite a bit. It's got some weight to it, so it's not like it's just a knob. It actually is a weighted knob, which is interesting. So this one definitely weighs more. And one of the things that you have to do when you install one of these, you have to use one of these little adapters, which is kind of ghetto, but it kind of just, it speaks to the price point. So if you just want a cheap weighted shift knob, I could probably sell these for a little over 10 bucks, like $12 or something like that. They look decent, they work decent. But I'm just not sure if it's worth it, if anyone will buy it, or if people would rather spend $80 or whatever on a parent or something like that shift knob. So let's take a look at it, and then you guys can hopefully tell me what you think. So the first thing I want to do is weigh them both. So I'm going to weigh the stock one here, and that is 6.8 ounces. And now I'm going to weigh the aftermarket one. And I'm going to make sure I include the adapter components. So 1 pound 7 ounces. So it's definitely heavier by almost double. So didn't really quite feel like that big of a difference, but almost double. So it is definitely significantly heavier. I'll take it out and show it on the car in a second, but of course you can get them with the pattern up here. I didn't really care for that because, you know, I know how to drive the car, so it didn't really bother me. But I'm going to look at what specifications I can get. I would prefer, I'll show you when I get in the car, but you have to use this to prevent it from bottoming out too deep, since it has a reverse lockout. So let me go out to the car and show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so first I wanted to reference how it looks and feels with the stock shifter. So one of the things to keep in mind that's unique about the stock shifter is for the reverse lockout, it actually has a little valley where this piece goes into. So you can see on the shift knob, it's bigger on the outside here, so that part can go up in it, which is why it's able to be so far down. So that's one thing to keep in mind. So I have the new one here. The first thing you need to do is install this little bolt, and that's to prevent it from going down too far and interfering with this. So with that there, you can put it into reverse without problem. So it allows that full travel. I'll just let you guys see it and you can tell me what you think. So here's the little adapter that you have to use. And I'm going to, of course, if I were to order these to buy these in bulk, I would probably get it in the right size and everything. I wouldn't go with one of these universal things unless I was just trying to sell it super cheap. But I don't know, I guess I'd have to compare the price and stuff. But I just wanted to see what the thoughts were on this. Because when I drove around with it, I actually liked it. So that goes there. And then this is going to screw on the top. Okay, so there it is. So this is essentially what it looks like. As you can see, it sticks up a lot higher, but you know, honestly, with the extra weight, it doesn't have like it doesn't grab in the next gear as much. Like when you just pull it down, it just comes down in a smooth motion. And then plus it's a lot higher and a lot bigger. And I actually found it a little easier to drive, especially in traffic, since it's just like, it's just so big. You don't have to like reach down for something small, and you still have the full reverse functionality. But as you can see, let me get a good shot of this. So as you can see the little bolt down here, which the little nut, which kind of looks ghetto. I don't know, I'm not sure how I feel about this. This is probably something I would pay, you know, 12 bucks for or something like that. If it were, you know, maybe 12, 15 bucks. If it, you know, if I knew it fit the car and I knew it worked decent. So I'm happy with it. I mean, especially since I got it for free. I'm just not sure if it's something that I'd want to sell, but I think it's excellent. It really has a lot of weight to it. I mean, it weighs double what the stock one does, so definitely gives the throws a nicer feel. Because putting a short shifter in these cars is a huge pain, and this is not something I'm going to do. So a weighted shift knob is the next best thing, and I like it. Kind of gives like a nice custom look to the car. It doesn't have it doesn't have the pattern on there. It's like big. So it makes it nice to shift, easy to grab. So I'm happy with it. So just wanted to share that with you guys and maybe see what some opinions were. So if you have any questions, let me know. So take care.
Just a pilot in his cockpit seated. Black leather on his ass, keep a hustler heated. Weed is engaged in the pavement. Rubber escorts like I'm seeking arrangement. Push the gas, escalate the gauges, escalate hits on the cam girls.